My name's Daniel. I'm one of the elders at City Church, Cambridge, and this is my wife, Anna. Yeah, woo! And each morning we're going to have a little interview with some pioneering couples and just find out what's happening. Today, I think, is quite a special day. So my first question is, how long have you been married?
Well...
It's not that complicated.
38 years ago this day, I married this incredible woman. So, there you go.
Okay, so just to introduce Maurice and Rachel for some of those who might not know them. They are sort of a leading couple in our family of churches and are known and loved and are part of the apostolic team. And you've been local church leaders.
Sure. I mean, I think it's been a journey. So I think when we 38 years ago began our journey together, we were sort of quite deeply involved in children's ministry and then in worship ministry. And then we were sent out to plant a church up in Norfolk many, many years ago. And then we're involved in helping fix broken churches. But as those churches, that number of churches grew, those that were being planted, those that were being drawn in, we found ourselves being drawn into caring for those churches. You know, if you have children, you don't abandon them, you care for them, you draw alongside them, help them grow to their full stature. So we saw that across Norfolk and then increasingly in the east of England. And then in recent years, over the last 5 years, in fact it is now, we've been increasingly involved serving churches on the continent of Europe, on the mainland of Europe, raising up leaders, helping plant churches, help network those churches, and that now takes all of our time, and much of our time we're based over on the mainland of Europe, serving the apostolic strategy of relational mission among the nations of Europe.
Okay, so whenever I try to get hold of one of you, you're always in an airport or on the way to an airport or whether on the way back from an airport or on a train or in some exotic place. And you've described to me personally that you sort of feel like you have a coffee table ministry rather than a sort of platform ministry. Can you give us a day in the life of the Nightingales, Rachel?
Yeah, it's genuinely quite difficult to describe a typical day because we just don't have one. And I know for many of you that's true as well. But yeah, we, every few weeks or so, you know, we're reviewing where are we, where are we going next. And so every day really is different. But for us, the key is having opportunity to meet with the people on the ground, whatever they're asking us to do in that situation. So our days are spent mainly amongst different people around Europe, encouraging, strengthening, shoulder to cry on, whatever is needed, as well as opportunities for retreats with leadership teams, training, whatever is going on. And that's really what we do. We have not got a typical day. We do try and have some normality in, like getting up at a certain time and maybe going for a walk or whatever, but it really is a typical day is based, it's different every day. But that's very exciting. Really exciting because it means you don't quite always know what's going to be happening this week. But coffee table ministry is how we describe what we're doing.
It's so beautiful to observe. I've traveled with you a few times and ministered with you, and it's so relational. Maurice, what exactly are you guys trying to achieve in this season?
Particularly based on the continent of Europe, we're looking to multiply the DNA that we represent here, so our apostolic and prophetic DNA in the different language groups of Europe. You know, to take the gospel into the heart of a culture, you have to go through the language of the heart. And in our first sort of life cycle as New Frontiers, it was understandably and inevitably quite UK-centric. And we're now looking to see how can we multiply Ephesians 4 translocal DNA in the nations, that they can take responsibility for their own sustainable, self-multiplying mission. And this is a very patient work. You know, it's not that the ministry of the pastor and the teacher and the evangelist is less significant. They're all equally significant, but there is a deficit in terms of apostles and prophets in the nations. And so we've set our hearts on raising up local language apostles and prophets. And that's a very, very patient work. It's not a job you can apply for. It's a ministry that is seasoned and takes many, many years to grow and develop. And you have to be very patient with that. But that's our dream and that's our desire, is to multiply apostolic families of churches in the nations of Europe, working shoulder to shoulder with us in the UK, in order to see the gospel of our King spread to the very, very corners of that continent and spilling over to the other continents of the world.
Excellent. So you're very unusual. Your life is atypical. Day by day, it sounds like it's very different. But we want to live sustainable lives, right? How do you prevent yourselves from burning out?
It's such an important question, isn't it? We're really, really blessed in that we're not doing this on our own. And we do have different groups of people supporting us and around us. We have, back home at Ipswich, we have a group specifically praying for us. We're part of a team that are here, that are checking on us. We also have people like Penny and James Taylor who try to manage Maurice's diary. And they're absolutely great. In fact, we're going to be spending the weekend with them soon at just, what are you doing? What's the focus? Is this sustainable? We have our own kids. Our own kids, one in particular, is very worried that we're now both over 60. Suddenly very worried. So that, you know, we have such a network of people around us. We could not do this on our own. We have an amazing group of people. A lot of them are here. We call them delegated ministries, retired early, retired who go out on our behalf, because we can't do it all, and neither do we want to do it all. But I think the issue of not burning out is always a challenge, especially, to be honest, when in our situation we haven't got daily routine. How do we learn to say no? We just want to say yes because we love the people we're with, but actually we cannot do it all. So for us it is having those people around us who will just say, I think you're doing too much, or are you spending time together? You know, it is our wedding anniversary, 38 years, fantastic. But we still need to ensure that we have quality time together with our family. Our trustees release us to ensure that we have quality rest time, and in that they're really key about and with your family. And that is just so precious to us. We're not doing this on our own, and we are surrounded by people who are trying to ensure that we do not burn out.
Brilliant. Final question. I remember having a conversation with you guys a few weeks ago, and Maurice, you said, you know, I'm at this age and stage in life where I can't be doing with sugarcoating, soft talking anymore. I need to be direct and not mince my words and just go for it. So in that vein, what would you like to share with us?
Well, that is a dangerous question. I mean, really, you've got one life, make it count. Yeah, make it count. Don't die wondering, push yourself, have a go out there, live an adventure. Don't settle for a cozy middle-class English life, but just say, God, once this life is gone, it's done. And then we've got real life ahead of us. So you just want to pour yourself out and pour yourself in to every opportunity that God is going to give you. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall over from time to time. Get up, go again. And just say, I'm going to carry as much weight as I can for the King and for the kingdom while I'm here. I'm nothing special. I'm not a celebrity, but I'm just going to pour myself out for what God has here. I'm not going to limit myself by my own insecurities and weaknesses. I'm just going to blast it for the King. Hallelujah. You've got 25 seconds.
I've got 25 seconds, 20 seconds. Everything Maurice has said, and a lot of you know I've got a real passion for those of you who are in your 20s and 30s. This is the time to go. This is time not to get stuck where Maurice mentioned, but to really say, I've got the time to give you, God. What can I be doing? Come and talk to me about that if you're in that age bracket. This is your season.
What a privilege it is for us to labor alongside these guys, to be sort of basking in reflected glory, to be caught up in what they're opening up in Europe. And I would just encourage us to pray for them. Every time they come into your mind, pray for them. Every time you see them in a field, put your arms around them and say, you're doing a great job. Let's really encourage them. So let's put our hands together for this lovely couple. Thank you so much.